Federal statutes passed by Congress say before you can approve a new drug and allow it to be given to teenagers, to girls who are still going through puberty, you have to at least have a study of it on a pediatric population to make sure it doesn't affect them going through puberty differently from anyone else. And the FDA never did that before approving chemical abortion drugs.
The Food and Drug Administration on the defense as a first-of-its-kind lawsuit alleging that proper protocols were not met in the 2000 approval of a chemical abortion drug. The data from 4 national medical associations showing irreparable harm being done to patients due to these drugs. Dr. Christina Francis is the CEO-elect of the American Association of Pro-Life Obstetricians and Gynecologists, one of the healthcare groups at the forefront of this lawsuit. Also, Eric Baptist is an ADF senior counsel representing this coalition, a senior counsel representing. Thank you so much for coming on for both of you here. Dr. Francis, if I can talk to you about this here, talk to me about what's being done, the damage that's being alleged by these chemical abortion drugs.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And as you said, women and girls are being endangered and injured every day in our country through these dangerous chemical abortion drugs. I am a board certified OBGYN and I practice in an inpatient setting. And I personally, along with many of my colleagues, have seen women and girls come in through our emergency rooms with severe complications from these drugs, complications that should be being addressed by the FDA, complications like heavy bleeding and hemorrhage, the need for emergency surgery, the need for admission to the hospital for blood transfusions and infections. And even one of our members took care of a woman who likely will not be able to have children in the future because of major complications that required 2 major surgeries to correct these complications due to these chemical abortion drugs.
Doctor, if I could say with you really quickly, did the FDA approve one of these drugs or any of these drugs without testing?
So their initial approval in 2000, they did do some testing on adults, but they did not test in the pediatric population. And yet ever since its approval, it has been allowed to be used in the pediatric population. And this is a population of girls who would be very susceptible to manipulation of hormones, which is exactly what the first drug, mifepristone, does. It binds to receptors on cells and blocks the action of progesterone, which is a key hormone, not only in normal development for girls, but also a key hormone in early pregnancy, which is how it works to end the life of preborn children.
22 years later, to have this discussion, for anyone, any woman that has been through this already, they might find this segment concerning for them. I wanted to get to the legal part of this, if I can, with Eric Baptist. Talk to me about this. What is the ultimate goal of this lawsuit?
We have 2 goals for this lawsuit. The first is for the court to compel the FDA to do what it was supposed to do 22 years ago and take these dangerous drugs off the marketplace. But if not, and at minimum, restore and strengthen the previous safeguards and protections that were afforded women when it was initially approved. The FDA has systematically, over time, taken away basic precautionary protections for women and girls who take these drugs, and it has created now a very dangerous situation for them.
Eric, why did you decide to jump into the ring, if so to speak, with this case?
Because what our clients have seen, they're the frontline doctors. They're the ones in the emergency room and treating these women and girls who are presenting themselves with complications such as severe bleeding, requiring blood transfusions, and other complications. What we are doing is trying to restore and protect the women and girls who take this dangerous drug regimen, because the FDA has not studied these drugs in their real-world use, nor, as Dr. Francis talked about, actually studied the impact of this hormone-blocking regimen on underage girls, even though they've been told, purportedly, it's safe for them to do, whether in the long term or short term.
Let me close with this, with Dr. Francis, if I can. What is your message to maybe young girls out there today, or those that may go through searching for, going to an abortion clinic? What are they supposed to look out for? What are they supposed to ask for?
So my message to girls who find themselves with an unexpected pregnancy would be that you can do this. You are stronger than you think, and you can do this with the support that you need. But what they're not going to find at an abortion facility is that support. And they're also not getting an honest message. They're being told that these medications are safe, that these drugs are just as safe as Tylenol. In actuality, they carry a 4 times higher complication rate than surgical abortions. And a recent study showed that in 2015, when some of these safeguards were still in place, 35% of women and girls who took these dangerous drugs ended up in the emergency room with complications. So my message to them would be to seek support and seek accurate counsel, and to know that these drugs are extremely dangerous and you deserve better than that.
A sensitive topic, but important to discuss and get the facts out there for many that need to hear it. Dr. Christina Francis joining us with that, and Eric Baptist, thank you both. We appreciate it.
Thank you.